Today marks the first private sector-led meeting on the important topic of an economic partnership agreement between Canada and Japan. Our Chamber is honored to be hosting, with the support of the Keidanren and the Canadian Chamber of Commerce, this event.
日華 EPA の成功裏の締結に向けて、本日のこの議論が実り多いものとなりますように記念する次第でございまして、
で新しいモメンタムですね、クリエイティング・ニュー・モメンタムと書きました。まさに、日韓にはそういう、重要性がある。日本とカナダの EPA が他に類を見ないぐらい質の高いものにしていく。でそれがアジア太平洋地域のモデルになる。それがひいてはその WTO 体制全体の一つのモデルになると。
My message today is this: those two friends need to push themselves and to push each other to run faster too. We'll do that by launching an ambitious new trade agreement and by completing it quickly.
これだけ多くの方々が日華経済関係の増進に関心を寄せておられるということを目の当たりにして非常に心強く思います。
There was a resounding reaffirmation of the desire on the part of both the Japanese and Canadians, all 150 of them attending, to move economic relations forward and to a higher level. I haven't really seen any comparable occasion on which there was so much focus on Canada. So it was a good learning experience, especially for the Japanese.
We believe that a partnership agreement does support engineering development centers in Japan. As I mentioned, 5 of the top 15 OEMs are Japanese.
I was really glad to Steve's final presentation. Support engineer centers in Japan and support engineering in Canada. I think EPA is one of the most interesting issues to our business.
Our relationships are strong and deep, and I think with this event, with the negotiation, the economic partnership, they're going to get better.
So I think there were 3 dramatic outcomes. The first was the complementary nature of Japan, Canada's economy and society. We have strengths, Japan has strengths, we have some weaknesses, Japan has some weaknesses, but they fit very well together.
Our trade relationship is complementary, with limited direct competition between our producers. We don't grow a lot of rice, but we have a number of other products that Japanese consumers use.
We think negotiations should be speedy because we're really playing catch up with the EU and with South Korea, and we realize that in the larger scheme of things, EPA is kind of a stepping stone to larger regional efforts within the APEC and ultimately WTO.
We had this valuable opportunity to see the economic partnership agreement in context, in perspective. The perspective being that today in the world there are major efforts for integration, economic integration. That's taking place in Europe, that's taking place in the Americas, and most importantly in East Asia. In East Asia, what Professor Watanabe of Keio University said that what is happening is business-driven integration, which is very true for this symposium too, because this was led by the CCCJ, the private sector. And through this, we are reaffirming the importance of the economic ties that have existed between Japan and Canada. And there was one particular factor, which is the reaffirmation of the importance of Canada as a reliable and stable supplier of energy resources and foodstuffs. And energy is especially important at a time when Japan is groping for its appropriate energy mix after the shock of the March 11th disasters last year.
カナダは現時点において天然ガスの生産においては世界第3位です。カナダは日本にとって非常に魅力的なパートナーになっております。最近特に日本の産業界が注目しているのは西カナダの LNG のプロジェクトです。で特にここにありますブリティッシュコロンビア州においては
And this was a surprise both for the Japanese and the Canadians. was that looking at four sectors, agriculture, autos, energy, and forestry, there were irritants but no deal breakers. And three parties were represented in the Canadian Parliament, and all were extremely supportive of a free trade deal.
We have representatives here from all three parties of the House of Commons, and all three parties, for the first time in our history, have agreed with a free trade, or let's say a trade agreement, and this is the one. So this is actually a very good start.
The most dramatic thing that has to happen was the other takeaway, momentum. I think it's now up to the Canadian Chamber of Commerce in Japan to work with Canadian groups to put on a dramatic, high-profile conference in Canada, linking governments, business, academics, think tanks on the depth of this relationship, and work with the Canadian and Japanese negotiators to get a deal within a year. And that was overwhelming, the response from Japanese and Canadians at this conference.
Kanpai!
And he delves deeply into the World Trade Organization on behalf of Canada.
By noting that an EPA is but a small step towards a good WTO agreement.
And I also felt that the CCCJ has proved itself to be a very important catalyst or bridge in bringing all these people together to focus on how to improve economic relations. So I hope the negotiators in both governments will make the best possible use of both the spirit and the substance of the symposium. And perhaps we can look forward to some kind of follow-up work or event possibly taking place in Canada. And as I heard some people say that with this sort of momentum, perhaps it may be possible to conclude the EPA negotiation within a period of, let's say, 1 year. I really felt that this concern that I've had for the past several years, that we may be too satisfied with the complementarity of our relationship, that we may slip into complacency, I feel that my concern of that kind has been dispelled.